Donny Cates and Nick Klein bring their epic Prey storyline towards its finish line as Donald Blake is besieged by an army of Thor's friends and family, including the seemingly alive Odin, who returns from a drunken trip around the realms to deal with the sins of the past. Donny Cates yet again knocks it out of the park with a wonderfully action-packed story-rich issue that fills us in on what exactly Odin has been up to since the end of War of the Realms. I quite enjoyed the heartbreaking story of Odin and Freya's love dying out, and as a result, Odin tries to find solace at the bottom of a bottle, something that seems very fitting for an Asgardian and a god as well. And I like on top of that, we got a nice little bit of character growth, where he decided to actually own up to his mistakes and set things right, which is a pretty big thing for Odin, given that he has tried to run away from his sins in the past. The rest of the issue was just fantastic schlocky action, with Team Thor confronting Donald and Thor pulling a fast one on him in the Destroyer armor, which was a welcome sight to see again, and I can't wait for the final installment of the story next issue. Nick Klein does a fantastic job with all of the action again this time round, delivering just some epic looking pages and designs, specifically his take on Odin's armor, which is very intimidating and Dark Souls-like, perfectly suited for an old drunk who's had enough of everyone's shit. Thor issue 13 was another amazing issue from Donny Cates and his team, giving us some really great character moments with the return of Odin and some badass looking action sequences that catapult the story into an explosive finale that I cannot wait for. I'm going to give this issue a 10 out of 10. Thor issue 13 finds Odin alive and not well. While giving up the burden of the crown, he faced yet another battle he couldn't win. Odin and Freya, after giving up royal life, took to the kingdoms beyond the realms to try and rekindle their lover's flame. But the flame was soon lost the more they journeyed through the realms, with Odin becoming depressed, and before he found the right words to say to the woman, Freya had left him. Odin decided to drown his sorrows in drink and try and find a faith and solace at the bottom of a bottle. In the present, Sif smashes the drunkard in the face, telling him to get up since he started this fight and now he's going to finish it. She says that she came for his help and he lashed out at her like a drunken schoolboy. Suddenly Sif realizes that she was able to hurt Odin, realizing he's weak, asking why that is so. So Odin says that his mercy is not weakness, but confesses that he is not the god he once was, since his son has his power now and he's lost so much since they last spoke and he cannot do anything for her, telling her that Thor can look after himself now. Sif explains that Donald Blake is free from his prison and he's killed the Midgard serpent and stolen its power, imprisoning Thor, and is taking all of the Odin-Force for himself as he rips apart the world tree. So Thor very much cannot take care of this himself. Odin slams his tankard down on the table, saying he'll get his armor, as back in the Dimension Blood, Sif returns to find Beta Ray Bill and the Goat People forging weapons and armor for a coming battle. Bill tells the others they need more armor, and while their weapons aren't the best, they will do, even giving the dwarves of Nidavellir a run for their money. Sif asks what he's doing since they have no way out of the Dimension Blood, so why is he raising an army? Bill says that they are doing all they can until they can do more, and it's all about faith and believing in miracles. A portal soon opens as Doctor Strange, Throg, Lockjaw and Bats arrive. Sif tells Steven that they need to get back to Asgard as the Doctor is surprised that there are so many of them there. Loki soon arrives, relishing in the fact that the Sorcerer Supreme has come for his help. Bats taunts back to the villain, saying that Loki is lucky he's got all his guys backing him up there, as Loki arrogantly says that he'll be the bigger man in this instance, saying that he needs Strange's help and they share a common enemy, so why don't they go and open the gates of hell? Donald meanwhile continues hacking at the roots of Yggdrasil, freeing its immense power as Throg attacks him. Donald thinks himself lucky that the hero has come back to die, but Throg says he has returned as Doctor Strange, Sif, Beta Ray Bill and their army arrive to back up the hero. Donald isn't impressed, wondering if he's meant to be scared as a giant hand grabs him, slamming him into the ground face first as he knows it's time his father came to see him. Odin, Odin, clad in his black war armor, says the ghost before him is not his son, and if it's punishment he has been seeking, his journey for it has come to an end. Donald isn't afraid, but Odin doesn't care, asking if he knows what he has unleashed by cutting up the world tree, wondering if he knows where all its blood is bleeding down to. Odin suddenly realizes as below them, Thor is powered by the blood of the tree, proclaiming that he is the god of the storm and the king of Asgard, wondering if Donald can feel his thunder, and if he wants his Odin-Force, he can't have it, but he can have the Thor-Force, and he can have it all. He unleashes his lightning up the tree, engulfing Donald in its bright light, a light which allows Thor's ravens to finally find their master, but they can't get him out since only striking his staff on the ground in the real world will allow his body to be released. Thor knows that his spirit can be removed, however, but the ravens know that he requires a vessel for that. Luckily, Thor has an idea as Donald Mimo gets up, saying that he's not done and they all owe him answers for what they did to him. He says he will not be stopped and he'll kill 100 of them until he has rightfully taken what is his. He screams that they owe him a life as Odin says that all life ends, and it is by his judgment that Blake will be unmade and his name will be stricken from the record books. A voice tells Odin that he'll handle this as Donald is blasted back, the axe Jarlborn falling from his hand and into the cosmic void below the Bifrost, as Donald finds that Thor's soul has been imbued into the Destroyer armor, as the Destroyer Thor says that if he wanted power, he will get it.